Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's going on? Jarrett Swift Hurd still feels that he's the best fighter at 154 pounds. He has a fight coming up on June 6th versus Luis Arias. And I think it might be on the undercard of the Floyd Mayweather fight, because I believe Jarrett Hurd does fight on Showtime, so he might be on that June 6th Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul card. And I don't know if that fight is gonna be at 154. I believe Jarrett Hurd is still trying to trim down and get back to 154. But in an interview with Brian Custer, he said that he still feels that he's the best at 154, and he aims to fight the winner out of Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano. Of course, that fight is set for July 17th. The Undisputed Showdown, all the belts on the line, WBO, WBC, IBF, WBA, and the Ring Championship, every belt on the line. Undisputed supremacy at super welterweight. That's one of the biggest fights in the sport of boxing. With just looking at the matchup, looking at everything that comes with being undisputed, and look at the status of Jermell Charlo and everything that he's accomplished, really coming from the bottom, getting it all out the mud, facing adversity, fighting every top guy pretty much at 154 except for Jarrett Hurd. I would still like to see Erislandy Lara get in there with maybe get a rematch with Hurd, and then also get in there with Jermell Charlo. As you see, Erislandy Lara, he just knocked out Snowflake with a beautiful left hand. And, he looks to be in great shape and still in tip-top condition and fighting at an older age. So I would like to see Erislandy Lara get back in the mix. Matter of fact, I believe Lara is fighting at middleweight now, but I think he could still make 154 and look phenomenal. But going back to Jarrett Hurd, I want to see Jarrett Hurd get back in shape. I'm really interested to see how he look in this fight coming up and what type of shape he is in. Last time I seen him, before his previous fight, which was January, before that, he got real big. Like, he looked like he was around 200 pounds. And it doesn't seem like he's been keeping his weight down in between these fights. I know he took a bit of a layoff. I think he had some personal things going on. And then, after he took that L versus Julian J. Rock Williams in his hometown, I felt like he kind of had some mental things going on that, was maybe he was doubting himself. He got rid of his coach. He's now with Coach K. I believe this is the same guy who coaches Shakur Stevenson. This guy's really prolific when it comes to the skills and getting these fighters ready. So I really want to see what he can do to help Jarrett Hurd improve on his game and see if he can go to another level. But I really want to see Jarrett Hurd get back to 154, get in great shape, and get back to competing with the top guys. I felt like he shouldn't have kind of, drifted off after the loss to Williams, because you lost to a really good fighter. It was a close fight. It was a classic fight, action-packed through and through, a very tactical inside fight. It was a great fight to watch. One of the best fights that I've seen in the last 5 years. And I felt like he shouldn't have held his head down like that. He should have got straight to it and got right back in the ring. But, sometimes you need to take a little bit of time off and get your mind right. I think we could all agree that Jermell Charlo is the favorite to win versus Castano. But in my opinion, that's a great fight, and I think Castano definitely has a chance to win. He's an excellent fighter, very skilled, bring a lot of different things to the table. And, the winner of that fight versus Jarrett Hurd would be beautiful. Now, do I believe Jarrett Hurd deserves a shot immediately at Undisputed? I think guys like Tony Harrison and Erickson Lubin might have something to say about that. You got the towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora might have something to say about that, but he's a pretty young guy. I don't know if he's ready for a Jermell Charlo or even a Brian Castano, but I think everybody still wants to see Jermell Charlo versus Jarrett Hurd. That's still a great fight. It's a great stylistic matchup, and those guys have a history between the two, you know. Jermell Charlo jumped in the ring on Jarrett Hurd before after one of his fights. I believe Jarrett Hurd has attended Charlo fights, and we've attended plenty Charlo fights, you know, and got interviewed and was talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Both guys have been talking shit between each other. And there's obviously some disdain there out of the love of pure competition. You know, so I want to see that fight. And I would love to see Jarrett Hurd get back to prime form. He's still a young guy, still got a long way to go in the sport. You know, so, man, get back on weight. Get back to your prime form at 154 and make a splash. And if you can't get the winner out of Jermell Charlo and Castano next for Undisputed, I would love to see Jarrett Hurd fight Erickson Lubin. The winner out of Hurd and Erickson Lubin get the fight. You know, Erickson Lubin got Rosario coming up in July. No, that's going to be in June on the Gervonta Tank Davis and Mario Barrios card. That's a hell of a card right there. So maybe the winner out of, you know, Erickson Lubin and Rosario can fight Hurd, and then the winner out of that fight, you know, Charlo is fighting in July. They can meet up later on. You know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I actually think the winner out of the Lubin and Rosario fight might be next up for that Undisputed matchup with the winner out of Charlo and Castano. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. How do y'all feel about Jarrett Hurd's comeback? Of course, this is his second fight since his actual comeback in January. But, you know, what do y'all think about Jarrett Hurd returning back to 154? He kind of got heavy and he fought at 160 in his last fight. So do y'all think Hurd can make 154 comfortably? Do you think that he'll be, you know, efficient and effective at that weight? And do you still want to see Jermell Charlo versus Jarrett Hurd? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.